these men the same. Their relentless drive, their willingness to leave everything in the ring will be exactly what makes this fight unforgettable.
I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of. There's a reason why I'm here.
Lamont Roach, you and your people's up, Slim.
Because in boxing, greatness isn't just measured by where you start. It is defined by how you finish. Lamont Roach Jr. began in the same world, in the same gyms, chasing the same dream. But the paths that brought them to this inflection point could not be more different. The world has witnessed the incredible rise of Tank Davis. Prodigy turned champion turned superstar. Lamont Roach Jr. has taken a different path.
That's right!
His tenacity is evident in every fight, but even more so in the long arc of his career, where he has scrapped and fought to earn the right not to be overlooked.
I'm really him. I bring any type of smoke to anything in my way. I am him in that ring.
The contrasts are evident and clear, but what makes...
After a long wait, Prime Video has finally dropped the first episode of GervontaDavis vs. Lamont Roach, gloves off. It's the build-up to their rematch, and it's already shaking up the boxing world. Clips from the show are everywhere on social media, and fans are loving the hype.
Yeah, of course. But the only thing that's gonna matter is when we get in the ring. If you ain't on your A game, if you ain't focused,
Trying to hear that.
I'm telling you right now, you better tighten up. Because if you don't, my mother, I'm gonna make it look like a cakewalk.
Now, I promise you, on my mother, you better believe the females home and the kids. On my mother.
Since GervontaDavis is the bigger name, the episode starts with him. The narrator sets the tone, focusing on the emotional fallout from their last fight. From the moment he stepped out of the ring, you could see how disappointed Davis was. He's determined to bounce back, even though he recently said he's almost done with boxing in the gym. Tank looks fired up, more focused and hungry than ever before.
Good try.
Hell no, that was weak.
Come on. I need both hands.
That body shot hurt. Go back down there.
Keep pushing forward.
You gonna fist blood tonight. I haven't been in the ring in like 14 months.
The footage shows Tank training hard, looking sharp, and more mentally locked in. Even though he's coming off a draw and a damaged rep, he seems solid. This is the most skilled fighter Tank has ever faced, the narrator admits. Odds are still in Davis's favor for August 16th, but a lot of people believe Roach has a real shot. Tank's fighting for legacy now. If he's really going to retire, he wants to go out on top. That's probably why he's so dialed and thinking smarter. Avoiding big risks early on makes sense, considering the tough life he's fought his way through.
10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed. Good job.
That lawnmower, that's that. Start that.
I made the decision to train in DC because,
Then we switch to Lamont Roach, training out in Plant City. I think I'm gonna beat him up bad. He laughs. How serious is he? Only he knows. But Roach is no joke. He's been through the grind like Tank has, and he's confident. He looks relaxed in camp, but don't let that fool you. He's dangerous. Tank's a snake in the ring, Roach says, explaining how Davis often gives up early rounds while waiting to land one big knockout shot.
Stand in the gym. Same day. Next day. Next day.
Maybe man. Take that dance yourself, man.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, some people just gotta know what you getting yourself into. He just might be a little off, and he be tripping sometimes. That's it. Like, I know that. People gotta know that they dealing with a wild card. That's what.
Tank's been open about wanting to retire, and that mindset may have hurt his last performance. But even now, he says therapy is something he needs. When asked about his mental health over the past 2 years, he admits the past left deep scars. Therapy might help, but not before he settles the score with Roach. The narrator sums it up as a real DC versus Baltimore showdown. Not a classic like Puerto Rico versus Mexico, but still full of heat. Tank doesn't look too worried, but he's definitely not taking this lightly either.
Baltimore and DC, two different worlds, but they so close.
You know we got that energy. Hold on.
We grew up together in the sport. It was always just a like tension and rivalry.
Even as kids, when Tank and Roach fought, those in the know paid attention. They were too young.
Just like he always does, Roach is seen video calling his son. I'm glad he'll get to see this. Roach says, knowing this could be the biggest moment of his career. He's 29 now, and like Davis, he's been through the highs and lows of boxing but never gave up. After losing to Jamal Herring, Roach admitted he went into a dark place. I grabbed my toolbox and got back to work, he said. 4 years later, he stepped up again, beating Hector Luis Garcia, who, for the record, beat Tank. Roach listed his strengths, but the biggest one, facing the most explosive fighter in the game.
You gonna feel all this we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35s for 12.
Many years ago, legendary champion Marvin Hagler remarked that it's hard to get up and do road work at 5 a.m. when you're sleeping in silk pajamas. In other words, when you're hungry, when you're chasing something.
After shocking the world with a draw in their first fight, fans now see Roach as a real threat, maybe even pulling off the upset of the year with a knockout. He's strong, but his power isn't crazy. That might push Tank to skip his usual slow start and go straight to work, ending things early before taking any damage. Still, Roach's boxing IQ could stretch this fight to the final bell. I worked my head off, Roach said. If Tank's on his way out, why not help him pack?
Yeah, but it's like people selling that stuff. Like, you know, even the picture where everybody was in the room, that shit look like some devil shit. Facts though, some coke, right? Yeah, that shit like some devil shit. Like they sold that song.
Yeah, you go with that.
That was crazy. And you seen how the guy looked at the scorecard. Yeah, he looked at it.
I like proving people wrong and proving myself right even more, Roach said. Right now, they've got me all the way messed up. So yeah, I'm planning to shake things up. Roach believes this will be the fight of the year and the start of his legacy run. After this, he's eyeing another title shot either at 130 or 135 pounds. I want to prove I'm the best. According to BoxingNews 24, Tank is having one of his best training camps yet. He's fully locked in for this challenge and ready to begin what his promoter Leonard Ellerby called the final chapter of his boxing journey.
Like, if you got a talent, the money gonna come, for sure. So I wouldn't even tell them to focus on the money. Like, if your talent there, don't worry about the money. That's all you gotta worry about, the grind.
Trainer Greg Hackett says the GervontaDavis versus Lamont Roach fight is a good one, even if Roach isn't a big name among casual fans. Hardcore boxing followers know what's at stake and why this clash matters.
Smaller than him was Pitbull. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just in height and stature. He was, you know, technically bigger than Tank too. But, you know, Tank is comfortable at 135, so I don't blame him for fighting.
Hackett points out that Roach doesn't have the flashy style of guys like Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney. He's just not that kind of fighter. To people who know Lamont and know boxing, this is a solid fight, Hackett told YSM Sports Media. What's missing is the flair. Lamont's calm, he's a gentleman. Even if he tried to intimidate you, you wouldn't buy it. Green eyes. Light skin, he doesn't look scary. Tank, on the other hand, brings the full package. He's got the tattoos, the wild looking. His eyes, the braids, he looks unhinged. He's gonna come with a crazy outfit and that showmanship. Tank's bringing the flair.
What you think about that fight?
It's boxing. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. It's boxing.
That's right.
What?
That's right.
What kind of fight you think?
Lamont is a calm, cool fighter, but don't let that fool you. He's a champion, and he deserves respect. The problem is we're always chasing hype. We want huge names and flashy fights, when in reality, this is a really good matchup. Tank. Davis knows Lamont Roach, and Roach knows Tank. It's local, and for the DMV area, this is huge. Both of them fought Hector Garcia, and that says a lot about their level. Tank faced Garcia just a year and a half ago. Trainer Greg Hackett said, that's the kind of competition we're talking about here.
The world of boxing is what it is. I mean, you just don't ever know what can happen in the sport.
Right.
I mean, we take losses every day, even though I may have had my hand raised every time I went out there and performed, but when I lost my Uncle Raj...
So how could anyone say Tank is cherry-picking? Roach has a title. They've got history. They know each other's styles. The only thing missing is that superstar shine like Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney have. They've had the spotlight for years, Hackett said. But this is one of the most anticipated fights of the year. The rematch is set for August 16th. Davis's WBA lightweight belt is on the line. Their first clash back in March ended in controversy. In round 9, Davis took a knee out of nowhere, but the ref didn't call it a knockdown.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leading with that.
He took a knee.
He took a knee. What was he doing?
He forgot his...
It's got to be a knockdown. What in the world is happening?
Took a knee. He's got to count.
Yeah, flip of the knee. I understand. If you take a knee like that, that looks like a knockdown. All right? Back up. Back up.
Can you describe what the feeling was like in the ring? And was it to get the towel out, to get the burn out of your eyes, or what was going on? And
I didn't want to get caught. I didn't want to get caught while my eyes was burning. And you know, like, you can get knocked out like that. So I'd rather take the knee than, you know. But I didn't really know that you can, like, get disqualified for all that. Or, like, when you start counting, I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know. It's cool.
If that moment had been ruled a knockdown, Roach would have won the round 10-8, which might have sealed the victory. And make no mistake, there was tension between these two before that fight. Now, it's boiling over. On June 14th, they got into it again on social media. It started when Roach wondered aloud why he gets so much hate. Tank jumped in with, "It can get bad for you inside and outside. Keep faking." A fan clapped back, saying Tank owed Roach $100,000. Tank's reply, "He's not getting it. Tell him to come take it." Roach didn't stay quiet. He fired back on another one of Davis's tweets, saying, "You're still tweeting and deleting like a fool. I'm not even going there with you." Tank, before wiping his account clean, snapped back, "You should have been focused on that instead of calling around for the $250,000. This bag is bigger than what you forgot. The $250,000. That's the bet they made before the March fight at Barclays Center." Roach claims Davis hasn't paid up. He wants his money, and he's calling Tank out for backing out on their deal. The bet became public during a boxing event when Roach Jr. started responding to fans. Davis jumped into the convo. "You should have been focused on that instead of calling for those to 5-OK. What are you waiting for?" Tank reminded him. That bet was made at the final weigh-in. According to Roach, Tank said, "I'm going to stop you. Want to bet?" Roach answered right away, $250,000. Tank agreed, but after a hard-fought draw, Roach felt he'd done enough. The fight went the distance. And now, Davis's fans and Roach himself are wondering why Tank won't honor the bet. Lamont Roach Jr. shared the story of the bet again on the All the Smoke Fight podcast, saying Davis had bet he would knock him out, something that never happened. When asked if Davis ever paid up, Roach laughed and said he changed his number. Now, with the rematch just around the corner, fans are watching not just for the action in the ring, but also to see if Davis will finally settle the score. Tension keeps rising, and the trash talk between them isn't slowing down anytime soon.
What is he in for this Saturday night?
I rule a weekend. I rule a weekend for sure. He just doing what you have to do, trying to psych yourself out for the fight and things like that. But come March the 1st, it's all about skill versus skill, and who had the better skill that night is going to be the victorious person.
GervontaDavis, the reigning WBA lightweight world champ, is just 2 months away from his much-anticipated rematch with Lamont Roach Jr., set for August 16th. This fight might just be the toughest challenge of Tank's career. The New York State Athletic Commission is still reviewing their first bout, and so far, There's been no official update on the final verdict from the controversial match.
I feel like you got a certain confidence about this fight that I've interviewed a few different Tank opponents. And everybody gonna say like, yeah, you know, everybody say this and that's what you're supposed to say, right? Like I'm going into a fight. I don't think people thinking they're gonna lose, but it just feels like you have a different confidence than most other people. Where do you feel like that comes from?
That's just how I'm wired, bro. I ain't never backed down from nothing. I damn sure I ain't never wanted to come second to anything. So why would it change here?
Even though Davis is still the WBA lightweight champ, his spot as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world is now under debate. The first fight ended in a tense majority draw 114 to 114, 114 to 114, 115 to 113 after a battle with Roach. At the Barclays Center, CompuBox numbers showed Roach threw more punches for 100 to Davis's 279, but Tank was more accurate, landing 103 compared to Roach's 112.
Fight, but it's actually quite a tough fight. And Shakur said to me, like even the day before, I'm telling you, he's going to have big trouble tomorrow night. And I just feel like hopefully this could be the little something that gives Gervonta a little wake-up call to take him back to the mindset of maybe where he was.
Do you think New York State overturns it?
No. No, I don't think.
One judge gave Davis the edge, but didn't, which is why it was ruled a draw. The turning point, round 9. After a flurry of sharp shots from Roach, Davis suddenly dropped to one knee. By the rulebook, that should have been a knockdown, giving Roach a 10-8 round instead of 10-9. That 1 point could have flipped the outcome. Davis later said, "I just got my hair done 2 days ago, she put grease in it, and the sweat ran into my eyes." He also complained about the ring girls being missing, saying he didn't even know which round he was in.
You know something funny? We was talking in like the 12th round, I think the 12th or 11th. We was talking, right? But he like, you ain't gonna win. I said, why not? What you talking about? He like, they ain't gonna give it to you. I said, oh, is that right? So, you know, that's how boxing work. It's sad to say, you know, that's how boxing work. I'm not like totally upset. I figured with it.
If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, that's a knockdown, Roach insisted. And if that gets called, I win the fight. The New York State Athletic Commission told ESPN that a technical issue stopped them from reviewing the video of the moment in time to officially correct it. And that's all for now. For more top boxing news, moments, and breakdowns, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. Until next time, peace.